Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this new session of the morning briefing. Let's start, as usual, with a recap of yesterday, a day that essentially began with a continuation, a little bit of what had been the momentum from the day before yesterday. So there was this upward push. In short, in the middle of yesterday morning, and then there was this further upward push, after which the market began to reverse. A nice head and shoulders bearish pattern had formed, both on the Nasdaq and on ES, promptly reported in the chat, which then bore fruit right at the close. With these three nice bearish candles, in short, I'm showing this ES now, but the same happened on the Nasdaq. Here it is. This nice drop from a point of view, let's say, of the data that arrived yesterday. In short, they were, let's say, fluctuating. Then there were the quarterly reports last night, which were seen in the after hours. In short, both Amazon and Apple lost about 3-4 percentage points, only to recover them during the night. In short, there was another movement that frankly I haven't yet researched why. Probably some statement reached the market. In short, some intervention, probably, on the DASI side. I haven't yet investigated what this push-up was about. We must nonetheless acknowledge the fact that during the night, in short, there was this recovery. Now the prices, in short, are essentially where we were yesterday. In short, at the opening, so essentially nothing happened yesterday either. What should we expect for today? Today is an important day, in my opinion, for the NOFAP and Rolls data, which will certainly, in short, bring vitality to the market with, in short, increased volatility. In short, at least this and these are always the characteristics emerging from the market. When this data is released, from a technical point of view, let's obviously take a closer look at things in detail. For the Nasdaq, of course, we are monitoring, in short, the high recorded yesterday in the 125-130 area on the downside. Obviously, we are also monitoring 19,755, which is, in short, the low recorded yesterday. This is the range area that exists at the moment. Thank you. If we work a little more to narrow, we can probably fit it simply into the BC3 levels recorded between the opening of the regular trading hour and essentially the European opening, which is here, the Asian closing, and the European opening, which will be here in this area. Here it's probably also 8:35 in Italy, so the opening hasn't happened yet. I repeat, we need to navigate by sight, guys. Pay maximum attention because we are definitely at important levels. From where? Then the market, in my opinion, can take a more decisive direction for a while, so above, obviously, the 20,000 area. As for the Nasdaq, I definitely see it, well, the level to hold in order to hope for an upward trend. Then we will look at S. Yes? Watch. Actually, let's look at it right away. S, here it is. And if it goes up at this moment, well, there's 680, 700 as the area to pass, obviously. The break of this area, well, would definitely give a boost. A confidence also to the operators for an important break of a significant resistance area to the downside. Conversely, as the Nasdaq exactly wants, we monitor this entire area here that has developed, well, which at the moment seems to act as a trading range. So maybe, well, it can be extended a little bit because maybe the volatility can push to break, to make false breakouts, and then re-enter. As maybe happened yesterday in the early American morning. Then in the evening. So we must be open to every scenario because unfortunately we are in a very... Have we? We've already said it, news driven. So the market has already seen you because the news can overturn scenarios. And from 1 hour to the next. Okay, let's obviously take a look at the other two American futures as well. Let's start with the Dow Jones, which is this one here. At the moment, the Dow Jones has recovered a little bit. Better, it holds 41,000, which is important. on the downside. We monitor the 41,000 area. It must hold it to hope for a bullish push. If it breaks 41,000, it will likely re-enter this range limbo. So it can also go to test the area of the lows recorded at the close. Pecan. Let's move on to Russell, which reached it fortunately surpassed this symbolic psychological round number of 2,000 last night. We've mentioned it several times, and at the moment we're working on it, of course. In short, it seems unnecessary to remind you that we need to try to hold it to consider higher targets, which could certainly be those in the area 2040, 2060 on the downside. Obviously, so we monitor the 2000 area because a break of the 2000 area could easily bring, as with the Dow Jones, the price back within this range of BC3 levels. In short, of the last few days, and then return to this limbo, we will see what will happen. Let's take a look, of course, at oil, which started off poorly yesterday. In short, it took quite a hit. The price stopped right at the range of the minimum. This too, I also pointed this out in the chat before it started to rise again with strength and, already from yesterday. Before the opening around noon, there was a nice push-up. Then a nice retracement, right? At the VIX line, which, as you all know, can also serve as a swing point on retracements, which happened here. So then another push. At the moment, we have almost recovered the 60 area. So definitely an important good recovery. This pattern seems to be forming again, which we have already seen in recent days, where it made this movement, then held, tried a bit lower, then a recovery. So we can frame this as a base for consolidation. So it's absolutely important to hold the area 58, 40, 58, 50, 58 and 50, 58. The breakout obviously at this moment of the 60,000 area could give a nice upward push, but why not even up to the area 61.80 to 62, which will certainly act as resistance in this area. Okay, having looked at oil, let's take a look. Obviously gold as well, it has recovered a little bit overnight. We are back at 32.60, 32.70, so we are reattaching this whole area that until a few days ago acted as support. Look how many times. At this moment, obviously, it has reversed its role and will certainly act as resistance. So definitely on the rise. We need to monitor these lows here, so between 32.70 and 32.80 on the downside. Obviously, we are going to monitor this range of BC3 levels. Perhaps as a first bulwark, we have 250. But, the more decisive one I consider to be this 32.40 to 32.45. So the holding of this level, in short, will support a potential attack on this area we have highlighted where all these lows are, while on the downside, the break of this area would certainly lead to a new test of this area recorded yesterday. We still have to look at SP, which is obviously in a situation mirroring the ES future. We are in a limbo situation. At the moment, the closing price stopped just below 600. We will need to see how this opening will be to understand the developments. Obviously on the upside, in short, as we monitor 56, 57, 56, 56, 60, which seems to be the area, in short, to consider as primary, and then it corresponds. In short, this is always a 5-minute chart. So in short, I just shrunk it a bit as we are in this area. So here, a break of this area here could easily bring prices back to the 7.10 area, but also 7.30. In short, so attacking these highs here, these here, and these here, but then we have this at 5.7. So there are a few obstacles. We'll see. Let's obviously take a look. Also at Bitcoin, even though it recovered yesterday, in short, it must have touched the area of the lows of yesterday's level string only when it stopped at a low and a nice push-up started again, which brought the prices right into that area. In short, directly into that area we have indicated that it was roughly 95.5, which was broken upwards, let's say more or less retested at these highs here. Okay, let's say this area here can be considered a semi-test. to then resume upwards. In short, around the 97 area it has retraced, and now it's obviously working on breaking this area of these highs here. It corresponds to the RD1 area. A break of RD1 could certainly bring prices into the VIX area, so around 98, 98.5 downwards. We instead monitor RD0, which seems like a nice pivot downwards corresponding with these highs here, with this area of highs here. So RD0 is definitely to be watched for any potential new upward attacks. Or perhaps a range day could develop between RD1 and RD2, between RD1, SD0, SD1. In short, when it extends up to SD1 or even downwards, I would monitor it, especially SD1. Why then? It corresponds to these lows here, maybe by widening a little. They can be seen better. So this area here, which corresponds to RD1, so RD0 and RD1 is the area where it could be a good buy opportunity, or the breakout could then allow for bearish movements for a test as well of the area of the lows recorded yesterday. Perfect. With this, we have reached the end of this week. Please remember, today is Friday. There are these important data, so exercise maximum caution, reduce the size, and stay focused. And as always, I invite you to leave a like on the video, follow me on social media, and if we catch up later in the chat, thank you all for your attention.